starts now.
First this morning, waking up to damage and destruction. Just in Paulding County alone, you can see the sheer force of the severe weather overnight. We know of at least a dozen reports of trees on homes. Strong winds even ripped off a gas station awning. And we are tracking power outages and blocked roadways this morning. Plus, seeing the storm through your eyes, we're diving into the photos and videos you sent us overnight of damage in your neighborhood.
Our severe threat across North Georgia is over. Storms are exiting off towards the east, still producing severe weather across eastern portions of the state as well as into the Carolinas. Now we're tracking the cooler air that's following the rainfall.
And here's a live look now across the metro and even up into the North Georgia mountains after countless areas were battered with overnight storms. You can see things are calm right now, but that was not the case overnight, and what a night it was. As we wake up to start a brand new day, it is Sunday, March 16th. I'm Dan Kennedy. The storms have moved out. Metro Atlanta seems to have dodged the worst case scenario, especially when you consider this same storm killed at least 34 people in other parts of the South. This is video from Tylertown, Mississippi, of a tornado passing outside of a home. And then there's video of damage in Missouri. You see it right here. Here in Georgia, no reports of deaths as of now, but there is still plenty of damage left to clean up this morning. Let's get straight to meteorologist Nicole Hartford. Nicole, you and the team spent days preparing us for last night's weather impact alert day, and it was a sleepless night for many of us.
Yes, those storms were turbulent. They were loud at the very least as they moved across North Georgia, and they resulted in a number of storm reports through our neck of the woods, mostly that had to do with winds, but there were a number of wind as well as hail reports just in the last 24 hours that's extended through portions of Mississippi as well as into Alabama, where tornadoes were also much more numerous. Here, the National Weather Service has already said that they do have the intention to get out to Paulding County within the next couple of days to really look at all the damage that took place from that tornado warned storm to determine if it was a tornado or just exceptionally strong straight line wind. So they have to go out and do their damage report to really assess and see if it was from a tornado or not. Right now on our satellite radar, things are pretty quiet. The main line of storms off towards the east. Now we do still have a couple isolated showers lingering. So if you come across some rainfall, don't be surprised, but there is no risk for thunderstorms. There is certainly no risk for severe weather. Instead, today will be a day of clearing for us. Now those storms, that main line is now well off towards our east. It is still prompting a number of severe thunderstorm warnings as well as, yes, tornado warnings along the Georgia coast as well as into South Carolina. And these storms are still producing a lot of heavy rainfall as well as lightning as well. These will continue to push east, and behind it, we're left with a decent amount of cloud cover. This is our view right now in Athens, where you can see cloud cover certainly more widespread, but in many locations, sunshine is already trying to peek through. It's still mild at this point. We're at 63 degrees currently in Atlanta with winds out of the west-southwest at about 5 miles per hour. Those winds will stay breezy today as they shift around to the north, ushering in some cooler air. So you won't notice a big change temperature-wise for today. We'll still get up to highs in the upper 60s as well as the low 70s, but that cooler air really settles in tonight and into tomorrow morning. It'll be a short-lived cool down, but a cool down nonetheless. Stan?
Okay, thanks, Nicole. Now taking a look at this brand new video from overnight, just some of the damage left behind overnight in Paulding County. The strong winds toppled trees, knocking them onto the roadways, making it hard for people to get around. Parts of Villa Rica Highway were shut down overnight, and there are already a dozen reports of trees that fell on homes. Take a look at what's left of this gas station on Villa Rica Highway. You can see the awning ripped off, tossed aside by the winds hitting that building. Debris also scattered everywhere. That is an area that was hit hard overnight, Paulding County. And that's where we find 11 Live's Angelina Salcido joining us now from Graham Road. And Angelina, what are you seeing this morning?
Well, Dan, this neighborhood hit extremely hard, and this morning we are really starting to get to see the impacts of what this storm left behind. We have down power lines here, a transformer that was actually ripped in half, and some down trees as well. And behind those down trees is actually a neighborhood of people that are not able to actually exit their homes and come out homes because they are virtually stuck and aren't able to drive out. So some people are here trying to cut down the trees and give them that exit this morning. But really, to understand the magnitude of this storms and what the sheriff says is a potential tornado that touched down here in Paulding County, you would have had to be here last night to see and feel and hear that storm. We spoke to people who were here overnight.
The lights were flickering on and off.
Chaos overnight.
It's dark. You hear things flying. So, we go to the bathroom.
Kaylee York and Scott Bingham hang on to one another while their Paulding County neighborhood is turned upside down.
You think it's gonna, you see videos of other people going through it, but you never think that you'd go through something like this.
Powerful storms sent trees crashing through their 3-year-old's room. Kaylee's grandma left pinned in her bed after a tree hit her home a few houses away.
A big branch literally landed right next to her hip, next to her side, and one of the little small branches went through her pajama pants, or pajama shirt, and had her pinned in the bed.
But she survived.
God's blessing.
It's just all God.
Just about 15 minutes away, the strength of these winds literally picked up an awning at this gas station that was being held by this concrete, lifted it up and threw it on top of the roof of this building.
The fire department's like, we had to walk from the stop sign. We couldn't even drive our truck down here.
So there were about 70 trees down.
While crews try to get trees off roads and power back on, neighbors work to help one another.
They're even willing to start first thing in the morning with chainsaws or anything they have to help. Because there's no telling how long it's going to take.
Another sign of this wind's power is this sign almost being knocked over by the wind. Now, we spoke to some people who live in this neighborhood, shocked by what they are seeing this morning. Some people that couldn't get to their homes by the time that this storm was actually coming through had to ride out their storm inside their cars. It was not a comfortable place for them to ride out that storm last night. We're going to be speaking to some more people, catch up with the sheriff as well to see what the extent of the damage is here in Paulding County. We'll bring you those updates throughout the show. We're live in Paulding County this Salcedo 11 Alive News.
Frightening night for those folks there. Angelina, thanks. Be sure to stay weather aware with the 11 Alive app. You can scan the QR code here on your screen to download it for free and sign up for our weather alerts should we have another night like that. All right, let's get a check of power outages. At last check, Georgia Power reported close to 20,000 customers without power, including more than 4,000 in Fulton County, about 900 in DeKalb, 500 in Clayton or so. Let's check now with spokesperson of Georgia Power, Matthew Kent. Matthew, we appreciate you joining us live this morning. So what are the latest numbers you have, and just how bad was last night in terms of outages?
So at this point, we're looking at about 18,000 statewide that do not have power. And that's thanks to crews that were able to get out early in the morning, and also our smart grid that was able to reroute power in the event of an outage. And those crews were able to get out as soon as the storm had passed and conditions were safe to do so.
You know, it's great because our meteorologists here had days to warn us all of these storms, and they did so. And I imagine that kind of helped you guys scatter crews accordingly. How did you get them all in place overnight?
As this storm could have hit statewide, we wanted to have crews throughout the state. Once we saw the damage that the storm had caused, then we were able to move crews into the appropriate areas to help restore power as quick as possible. All
right, Matthew, I know the big question on folks' mind is, when is my power going to come back on? Do you have any idea for restoration today?
The best case scenario for restoration is by the end of the day. That's our goal. We encourage people to go look on the Georgia Power outage map. Look on there. That'll give you your area that has the outage, and also will tell you an estimated restoration time. So that is the best case. That is the best scenario to go look on our outage map and see when your restoration time will be there.
Matthew, some great information. We appreciate you joining us. Anything else you'd like to add before we go?
We just encourage everybody to stay safe. If you do see down power lines, please stay away from them, act like they're active. And if you see them in a puddle or on a fence, stay away from those areas as well. We want everybody to be safe. And if you see crews out on the side of the road, please give them a little extra room and slow down, because we're working to restore your power.
Yeah, those linemen doing great work. Please pass along our thanks, and thank you to you as well. Let's take a live look now at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport this morning. There are several flight delays and cancellations because of all this weather. And when I say several, I mean 186. Yeah. That's what we're looking at right now for delays out of ATL and 33 cancellations. Check out this video from Harold Roberts, who took this video from Sidney Marcus Boulevard at Lenox Road. You see the strong lightning hit the Bank of America building last night. Our 11 Alive Morning Show anchor Cheryl Preheim sent us this video of some bright lightning and the wind whipping around the side of that house in Tyrone. And then on the edge of Marietta and Cobb County, you can see this large tree fell down in the parking lot of an apartment complex. And check this out. A family in Newnan woke up to a big tree in their backyard after just missing their back porch. You see the lightning in the background there. That's from Chad Austin. We thank you for sending that in. And how about this? A tree split in half. This from Luke Hammond and Powder Springs, and a whole lot of debris on the ground there. And we're also seeing storm damage across the southeast, as the National Weather Service is already reporting multiple tornadoes that did indeed touch down on the ground in southern Mississippi. The storm tossed some debris more than 25,000 feet into the air, they say. Mississippi's governor says at least 6 people have died in their state.